This is my new old 2011 Volkswagen Golf GTI that I bought for a great price, and my plans for this car are simple. We need to fix it up and repair it. Secondly, we need to modify it because from factory they just aren't aggressive enough. But first we need to know what we need to do to this car to fix it before we start doing any silly stuff to it. So we're going to give this car a good clean so we know exactly what we need to do to it. So now the car's been cleaned, we can get a full look at what this car actually needs. It is scuffed here. Headlights definitely need flattening and polishing. Bonnet definitely needs painting because it's got loads of stone chips. The wing is scratched. Crease, dent, scratched, scuffed on the top there. So a scratch there and a tiny little dent there.
Long scratch going across there.
There is a big chunk taken out of that silver. Oh no. Engine, two issues. React immediately, tensioning bow, raised position switch. We're going to be modifying it, change everything on it. We're going to be putting some modifications on this car today. That looks tasty, that does. Look at that.
We're on to a winner right here.
Oh yes.
Like so.
Oh yes. If that pings off now and hits me in the face, I'm going to cry.
Get your fitment the right way around with this cone.
Make sure you get the right angle of your filter. Look at that. Try not to mess it up.
I think that ship sailed a few times.
Oh!
Oh no, it's dry.
I can see it, it's there. It's there.
He's got it.
Beautiful. That looks good. Boom. That has got to be the easiest install.
Yeah.
If you know what you're doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Ram, you are legends. Now, next on the list, we need to fix the dents on this car because it is clattered in dents. So I've spoke to a dent man and he's going to come out and he's going to try his hardest to get all of these out. So a PDR is a paintless dent removal, so you don't need to repair and paint the panel, which costs loads. So they just push and bend the metal back to its original position, as you can see here, making it more cost effective for us. They use these lights which have lines on them so they can see where the panel is straight. Straight lines means no ripple, which tells them the dent is gone. And you can see how they can manipulate the panel here and how the metal flexes. And once it's near enough back to where it should be, they just tap down the few high spots that are left, giving you a flat surface. Now, besides him not being able to get this one out of the top, I'm really happy with that. So now it's time to put some coilovers on. So these are the coilovers that I've chosen. These are Stance Plus. These are essentially a budget coilover. The first thing we need to do is get the wheels off. And this is everything that we need to remove. We're just changing the shock and the spring so everything else at the bottom can stay on. So let's get started. First thing is to take out the 10mm bolt holding the bracket on and pull your ABS wiring as well. Next, we're going to remove the drop link. It's held on by an 18mm nut on top of a 5Allen bolt. Then we can remove the bolt holding the drive shaft in. And whilst Justin carries on taking everything off the other side, I'm showing you what these things look like. Satin black with purple accents. These look sick. And we're back to it. Now we have the drop links and all the connecting parts removed, we can now remove the bolt and nut connecting the shock to the knuckle. This one right here. Then remove the nut holding the bottom arm and you should be able to pull the whole unit forward. And then that will allow you to release the knuckle off the shock. Then remove the bolts on the top and there you have your shocks out. Rears are very simple. First, take the bolt out holding the shock on. Next, drop the spring pan from the bolt right here. Oh, and probably don't put your head under it. That will allow you to pull the spring out. Then take out your shock. It's held on by two 16mm bolts at the top. Again, swap the top mounts. Drop your new shock and spring in and tighten it up. And whilst I did that, Justin managed to get all of the front built up. We're going to try and save these headlights.
So this is what these terrible headlights look like. Scrappy and cracked. I'm pretty sure the previous owner re-lacquered them. So we're going to have to take all of that back and get them shining again. Considering that is a quick job and took me about 20 minutes, I would say that it isn't perfect, but I'm extremely happy with how that's come out. That has just popped up on my dashboard. We're going to get that sorted, check out what it is, hopefully fix the issues, and then we can go ahead and put some fun stuff on this car. Before we get into that, let's sort this car out first. So the first thing I did was plug it in to see what faults it was throwing up, and I had the same as before, unfortunately. It was giving me the raised position switch fault, so I looked it up and it told me that it was to do with the evap system. And I also saw that it had a fuel sensor issue in the amber. So let's get this fuel pump put in. The first thing we need to do is pull the 15 amp fuse for the fuel pump. Next, take out the back seats while pulling them up. So you'll have to pull the wiring out from here and then pull this up. You should be able to just pry the whole thing up and then the fuel pump sits underneath it. So we need to unplug the wire and pull up the cover. Unplug the fuel pump, then release the 2 lines on the top. I have to put this seal back around the side of it, drop that on, and then we can slot it back in.
Now next we have to fit the evap system. Now the evap system is what was showing up saying react immediately, so I think it's kind of important that we get this done today, and that's this.
First you need to unplug it, then pull the rubber pipe back held on by a small clamp.
All we need to do is chop it here, stick the new one on. Then we are going to plug this in and hopefully get rid of all of them faults.
So now we can cut the line and you're all done, ready for the new one. I just used a small bit of pipe to connect the two and it worked perfectly. Plug it back in and connect the pipe back up and you're all done. So we're going to go ahead and run the car and clear all the faults. Run it again and see what we're left with. And boom, all the engine faults are gone and we're finally in the green. And there you have it, there is nothing else on the dash anymore, so that is a clean Volkswagen Golf GTI with 0 faults. Now, it's time to put an exhaust on this car, so I can't wait to hear this now. So let's go in, let's put this exhaust on. So here it is. This is from Gravity Performance and this is a catback. I literally saw this on eBay for relatively cheap and decided I'm going to buy it without even seeing if it sounded any good. So we're hoping it does. First thing is to remove this sleeve, but the bolts were corroded off, so we just cut it off.
Nice.
Yes. Next we need to release all the hangers holding the exhaust up, as you can see me doing here. And once we've done that, we can drop the exhaust out from the back. And there you have your stock exhaust off. And now we're going to loosely build this thing up on the floor first, so we can offer it up as one big piece and do all of our adjustments while it's on the car, so we can see where it needs to be positioned with the gaps on the rear diffuser. Now, the original sleeve wasn't playing ball, so to speed up the process, we just belt sanded the bolts off and replaced them with new ones. And once it was released, we can tap it off, but obviously I wasn't hitting this hard enough.
Hit it, man! Nice.
Now we have Jason's approval, we can offer it up, hooking it back onto the original hangers, allowing us to tighten everything up and get this thing straight. So the exhaust is all on now and it looks really, really good. It does still need a slight bit of adjustment, so that will be done off camera. This is off eBay, this is nothing special. I of course driven it here. It sounds very good under load, kind of how a GTI should have sounded. The factory is one of those, it just sounds a little bit better, it's nothing too special. I would say that's a good upgrade, a cheap, good upgrade. I'm happy with that. Yeah, that sounds good.
Now the first item we have going on is a diffuser, but it's not this diffuser, it's actually an extension piece. So it has 3 fins coming off it and it has some rear spats down here, but I have thought, I don't think it's gonna look very good against this textured plastic. So I wanna get this off and wrap it in gloss black. So hopefully it looks a little bit better when we put the new extension piece on. First things first, take the 4 25 Torx screws out from the bottom and then you can give it a little bit of a pull and it should release from the car. Firstly, we need to heat the panel up and then we can lay the vinyl down and heat that up too. This wrap may look bad now, but it does get better, I promise. Just maybe not a lot better. I cannot even tell you how difficult that was. I'm just going to show you. You cannot laugh at how bad this is though. Right, you ready? From about this distance, it doesn't look too bad, but this, I've had to patch it because this wrap is diabolical. It wouldn't bend around here. It wouldn't bend around all the fins, so I've had to like patch it in, as you can see. But I'm hoping when this goes on the car, you don't see it. Now, I'm sure you guys have probably seen these before. I know a lot of the VW people run them. So you've got fins here. This actually gives you 4. You've got 2 rear spats that go on the edge of the bumper. And then you've got this and they slide on through like that, I think. That's right, they provide you with these little brackets which mount to the bottom plate. You just need to bolt them onto the fins first and then you can bolt them up to the plate after. Of course, not forgetting to peel the film off first. And this is how it fits on the original diffuser. They provide you with these 8mm self-tappers which go into the bottom 6 holes connecting it to the original diffuser. You can see me putting them in here. So now that is all built up, wrapped, diffusers on, I think the 3 looks way better. So it's time to put this on the car now. I'm actually quite excited to see this. So let's bang it straight on. Going back on is simple. Align it to where it needs to be, give it a little bit of a tap, and once you're happy, you can put the 2 screws under the bottom to hold it in place, and you're all done. I think this actually looks really good. That diffuser definitely makes a big difference to the rear end there. The rear spats are simple. Align it to the edge of the bumper and put the 8mm self-tappers they provided in through the bumper, and then repeat it for the other side, of course. And there you have it, 2 rear spats, a gloss black diffuser, and our fin extensions as well. This looks awesome. So this is the spoiler that I went for. This is Maxton design, and it's essentially just a spoiler extension. So first thing we need to do is check how the alignment is. Once we're happy, we can go ahead and clean it with the wipes that they provided. Then offer it back up to where you're happy with it, and I like to peel the tape as I go along so I can just readjust it if I need to. And once it's all peeled, you can press it down. And there you have the spoiler is on. Now I think that is a nice touch to the spoiler. I don't think it's too much. I think that's about right. And we've got some side skirts with some extensions. We've bought R21, so these are for the Golf R, which I think is going to look 10 times better. It's going to make the car look that little bit lower as well because it adds a couple of inches to the bottom of the car. In order to get these off, you need to get the 325 Torx underneath, and you should be able to just pull them off from their tabs. Then slide the bracket off. Now you're able to offer up the new side skirts to double check that they're correct and they do actually fit. Once you're happy, make sure you clean the surface behind, giving the tape the best chance to stick properly. I wasn't sure if 1 strip was enough to reach the body as it sat in a slight recess, so I'm going to double up so I know 100% that it's making contact with the body. Then once you've done that, you can clean up the surface one last time, peel the tape off and offer it up to the body. Placing the bolt in the front first so it doesn't move around and stick it down. So it's time to get rid of this horrible dent. First we need to remove everything from the door to get it ready for paint, starting with the door card, removing this cover here to give us access to the 330 Torx bolts holding the door card on. Then we can remove the bottom bolt and give it a good pull and it should release from the door, not forgetting to unclip the handle as well. Then we can remove the mirror, then the weather strip, and then the handle. And finally remove the door bolts to remove the door, and there you have your door off, ready to be repaired and painted. Once the repairs are all done and the door is ready, it's time to put some primer on. And there you have it, repair all done. Now it's time to mask it up and get it ready to be painted. And there you have it, door painted, ready to be built back up with no more damage. Now all that's left to do is clear the airbag fault because we took the door off and we're all done. And next we're finally doing the service on this car, engine and gearbox. However, we aren't able to film as we had to drop the car off in working hours, but I was able to get a quick shot of the parts here. Now we did end up getting the engine service done, but unfortunately we couldn't get the gearbox service done because you need to pump the gearbox fluid up through the drain plug and we didn't have the pump, so one of them is on order, but fortunately we did get the engine service done, so that's a bonus. Now it's time to put some modifications on the car because I've been waiting to do this modification for a while and I'm excited for it. So we are putting a Golf R bumper on this, and that is what is in this bag right here. Now this is what's really cool about this bumper. They give you everything with it. They give you the grills, they give you a number plate holder, they give you the center grille, and they even give you the top plinth that sits on the top of the bumper there. So to get the bumper off, go around the bumper, removing all the 25 Torx bolts, including the ones up into the wings, and then you can move on to the bolts under the bonnet holding on the grille. Now if you're ever struggling with getting these grills off, there is just 4 20 Torx on the top, and then you literally just pull it out like that. And then that will expose these bolts which hold the bumper on just here. Whilst I'm waiting for the bumper to be painted, I thought I would fix my squeak. Now, I figured out what it was in the end. It's actually this bush right here. As you can see, it is absolutely perished, and the other side isn't looking too hot either. Now, this back bolt actually didn't give me any issues. It loosened straight off. However, the other one, not the same story. I could not get this bolt loose. You can literally see my feet on the suspension. That's how hard I was pulling. This is literally the tightest. I've never had a nut and bolt so tight in my life. I'm literally hanging off this with double spanners, and I've pulled it like this and it has slipped and I've just smacked myself in the head with the spanner. This is going to be a nightmare. And this hurts, by the way, like bad. And here are the new ones. Weirdly, they are slightly different in shape, and the ends are a little bit different as well, but they are the same length, so I'm hoping these are going to work. We're going to slide the new arm into its slot, drop the bolt in the back to hold it, and drop the other bolt in the front. Then we can tighten everything up, including the roll bar, hopefully not smacking myself in the face again. Oh wait, here's a slow motion replay of me doing exactly that. This is the exact moment the ratchet flew out of my hand and hit me in the face. This is actually a joke. That spanner should come off and hit me clean in the face. That's twice. What is wrong with me? I've got this. Now this. What's wrong with me? Right, now that one's changed. I literally do not have the mental capacity or the forehead room to do the other side because I literally haven't got the mental capacity to do another one and possibly damage. Look at my eye, look at my head. That's done. That's all I need to do because that's the only one that will squeak. And the bumper is painted now, so we can get the bumper back on as well. Get the wheels on, and hopefully this car is done. Hopefully I don't cause any more damage to my face either. But before we put the new bumper on, we need to build it up. And here are the bits that we need to go on it. And as I said before, the fog lights go in first. They slot into their place and then are bolted up from the back, as you can see here. Then we need to attach the backing to the fog lights around, which just clips into place. Then we can slide it into its position on the bumper, making sure all the tabs line up so it fits in place correctly. Then of course repeat it for the other side. Now finally we're getting it on the car. Firstly, make sure you're happy with where it is before you put any bolts in. Once you are, we need to go around the car, putting all the 25 Torx screws in, on the sides, the bottom, and of course dropping the new grille into its place and bolting that up as well. And there you have it, people. The front bumper is on and that looks 10 times better. We have more modifications going on, and it's these. It's the wheels. We have bought some new wheels. So the first thing we need to do is remove all the wheels to get the original tyres off, ready to go in our new set. And here they are, looking beautiful. Matte silver inserts with a polished lip. I can't wait to see these on. And another cool little perk is they give you all of the wheel bolts, so you get fresh wheels and fresh wheel bolts. They even give you new center caps, essentially a sticker to go on these mirrored ones. To get the tyres off, we need to use this crazy looking machine. First, it will pop the bead off the rim, then it will lift the edge over the top, allowing you to pull the tyre to the top of the wheel, so you can pull the bottom half of the tyre over the top. Then we can reuse that tyre on our new set, because they are the same size wheel. sliding the tyre on, then pushing it down under the rim. Then we can pump it up, and there you have your tyre on, and on the rest of them as well. Now it's time to balance the wheel, and as you can see, we need a few weights on there. So Jason is going to put the weight where it signals to on the tyre machine, spin it again, and you're all done. And finally we can put them on. Now it's finally time to see what they look like. We just need to put the centre caps in and torque them up. Now it's time.
I never answer to no, man, I still go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
For today's video, we have a lot to do, so we need to get this car to the shop and throw our first modification of the video on. And that comes in the form of a K-brace. I've gone with red to match the GTI calipers. And there she is. I think that red is going to look really cool against the red calipers down there. The first thing we need to do is drop the back seats out. We just held on with this bolt here. Once we've taken that out, we should be able to lift the seat up and wiggle it out. And the same on the other side. Once that's done, we can remove the bench and unbolt the seatbelt. Now they're all out the way, we can put the K-brace in. Now I'm literally guessing how to do this. I'm just going with the flow and hoping it works. Test fit the riv nut to make sure it fits snug, which luckily it does. Then we can go ahead and tighten up with this crazy looking tool, which I still have no idea how it works. Now the riv nuts are in, we're able to offer up the K-brace, loosely put the bolts in to make sure everything lines up. Then we can tighten it all up and see the final product. And the cool thing about these braces are we can have the back seats in with it. So we're just going to do everything we did before, just in reverse. Bench pops in, back seat slide onto the bracket, then we can bolt up the seats and bolt the belt back up. And there you have it, people, all done. And the seats obviously do fit, which is such a nice little touch because you get all 5 seats still. You still get the comfortability, but you get a nice little bit of performance enhancing K-brace right there. I'm really happy with that. Before we do some more mods, it's time to finally do the gearbox service because we couldn't do it before because we're waiting on this pump here. So the first thing we need to do is remove the drain plug and release the first bit of oil out the gearbox, and it looks pretty clean. Next we need to remove this, an Allen screw inside the drain plug holding the rest of the oil in there. And as you can see here, to drain and refill it's going to need around 5.5 litres. So it's a good job they sent 6. Take the Allen bolt out and drain it. As expected, this oil doesn't look as good, but on the bright side there was no metal shavings in there, which tells me the gearbox is still in good condition. And just stepping back and looking at the car now compared to how we bought it, I think we've done quite well. Now with the old filter out, which looks horrific, we can put the new one in. Drop the Allen bolt back in, attach the pump and pump the fluid back in. Drain plug back in, drop the car down and warm the oil up. Push it through the gears to pump the fluid around the box and then take it on a little drive to make sure all is good. Which it was, so we're all done. Now it's time to modify it. And the one thing that this car's been missing is this. A TRC front splitter, because this car has been looking really goofy from the moment I put them side skirts on. Now why did I go with the TRC instead of the Maxton design ones that I already have on there? Well, it's because I didn't quite like the Maxton design on this one. I think it looks a bit more simplistic and a little bit better. And just as we come out, it starts raining, but it's not going to put me down because that splitter looks absolutely incredible on that car. It really ties it together. Now, that looks really, really good. Let me know what you think about this splitter as well, because I know it does sit quite far out compared to the other bits. It is really, really aggressive. I didn't expect it to be so aggressive, but I still think it looks really, really cool. Let me know what you think in the comments. Does that splitter suit the rest of it? Because that looks mean as anything now. Today, after everything we've done to this car already, is the biggest change we're making to date, and it's wrapping this car. And this is the colour we're wrapping it in. Avalon Teal it's called, and to our knowledge, this colour hasn't been used once in the UK yet, so you're seeing it here for the first time. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get the bumper off. Now this is easy, they're just full of 20 torques. You already know how to get these off at this point. Then we can go onto the doors and take all the mirrors and all the handles out. And even Ollie's getting involved. He's taking the aerial out and he's taking the back lights out as well, which is a massive help. And now with the whole car stripped, this car is now ready for wrap, and I'm really excited. So let's start laying some vinyl down.
Bonnet, roof, both front wings, spoiler, boot, the passenger door handles.
Now before we see the final product, I want to say thank you to everyone who's watching at the minute. I really, really enjoy doing these builds, and to finish this build off with such a cool looking wrap is a massive, massive achievement. So if you are enjoying these videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because we are on our way to 50,000 subscribers and I need your guys' help to get there. So if you are enjoying it, hit that subscribe button and even like the video and drop a comment on what you think I should be buying next. How does it look?
Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Sure.
100%. Oh my god, that looks insane. That colour is perfect. I can't believe that.
It's good, like the wheel colour.
It's so good.
Son. Yeah, it looks so much nicer outside.
That looks so good. Honestly, thank you so much. That looks so good. So there we have it, people. The car is essentially finished. There's not much more we can do to it now. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Stay tuned for more videos like this, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.